All right, welcome back to LearnWire. In this video, I'm going to be actually talking about AI content or artificial created content and Google's helpful content update or HCU rolling out in the last week of August of 2022. They may have already started rolling this out, but it's going to be this week or next week. And really, I had some comments just asking, because I put a lot of AI content out and I do a lot of AI software reviews. And I've also, published content on my sites that I've created with AI, with at least the assistance of AI. And you guys are just kind of wondering, I'm sure many of you are wondering what my thoughts are on the new update, algorithmic update that Google is coming out with, called the Google's helpful content update. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Before I jump into my thoughts and just kind of going over what this update is, just be forewarned that a couple things. One, I do not claim myself to be an SEO expert, okay? So you definitely need to look at other sources of information and possibly other people that have been doing SEO for many, many years. They're going to be able to form a little bit better of an opinion. I'm going to try to relate this specifically to just AI content and how I am reading the update and what it's going to pertain to. But like I said, I don't claim to be an SEO expert. Also, I don't claim to be an expert on this topic at all, or even artificial intelligence content. So again, I cannot be held responsible for any action you take for just listening to this video. This is just an opinion-based video, okay? So I'm glad I got that out of the way, and let's jump in. So what creators should know about Google's helpful content update. Google search is always working to better connect people to helpful information. To this end, we're launching what we're calling the helpful content update that's part of a broader effort to ensure people see more original, helpful content written by people for people in search results. Below is more about the update and things creators should consider. So right off the bat, and we're going to come down here, and I've already kind of highlighted things that I want to really go into, but like right over here, people first, content creators first, focus first on creating satisfying content while also utilizing SEO best practices to bring searchers additional value. So right here, this is also something that is important, worth noting. They're not saying that you can't do SEO at all, right? What this, the main point of this update is that it's the speed at which you're creating content and the content quality. They want to get back to the roots of actually creating real useful content for the search engines, and not just trying to satisfy the search engine with what we think that they want in the content, what these on-page SEO tools are telling us that we need to include in all the content. This is obviously, they want people to write based on their expertise and within a niche that they're in. They want them to write, naturally, and write first and foremost for the actual reader that's going to be on that website. And so there's a lot of things to get into with this, but just know that it's saying right here, while also utilizing SEO best practices. So answering yes to the questions below means you're probably on the right track with a people first approach. Okay, so let's get into some of the things that are going to be included in this update, and I'll try to relate it to AI content, and I'll kind of add on there too the SEO optimization, on-page SEO optimization tools as well. Okay, so let's jump in, or the video is going to get really long. I don't want this to be an hour-long video, so there are a lot to get through down here as well. So I'm going to really kind of just go through this. So do you have an existing or intended audience for your business or site that would find the content useful if they came directly to you? Again, quality of content right there, okay? Does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise and a depth of knowledge, for example, expertise that comes from having actually used a product or service or visiting a place. So this is going to hit those travel blogs, right? That obviously they're blogging about every city in the whole world, and they haven't been to even 5% of them. How do you blog as if you've been somewhere if you haven't even been to that place? They want to rank the top 10 results should be ranked articles that of people that have actually visited there, have real pictures, real experiences, right? And that's what Google wants to provide on their page. And then getting into like right here, the product or service. So if you're going to do a review, this is really hitting on product reviews right down here as well. This hits affiliate sites and product review sites, where you're pumping out hundreds or even thousands of reviews, Amazon product reviews, it could be affiliate marketing reviews and such. And if you don't have your hands on the software or the physical product, then you're not really doing a service to the customer. And so they're going to try to hit on this. I don't know how they're going to develop an algorithm to decipher if that web page that created the content actually has the product or not. But I think it's going to come down to thin content, fluffed out content, specifically with reviews, product reviews. They're going to have some type of algorithm to be able to kind of sniff that out, if you will. It's probably going to see how many images you have on the page, if they look legitimate and things like that. So, and then it's going to get, and then we'll go into kind of the broader scope of the whole update, is because they're going to be taking a look at all your content, your entire site, and the quality of the content on your site. And I actually feel like they are going to be measuring this metrics as well, just little simple things like bounce rate and things. Bounce rate is a good indicator of the quality of your site, or if your information on that site is fulfilling the searcher's intent for that keyword, right? You're going to have a high bounce rate if someone's looking for X, but you're providing Z to them, right? You're going to have a high bounce rate. So all those things are, there's just hundreds of things to consider. We can't know or satisfy all hundreds of those things, but the closer you can come to doing that, then that's what they're telling us. That's why your content will rank, right? But when we are intentionally just dropping product reviews left and right, and we don't even have the product, that is part of the update. They're going to be hitting that, right? So does your site have a primary focus? Again, this is going to be looking at the niche that you're in, and I think that big news sites could be hit worse than this. Actually is a good thing for us small niche website creators, because if we can stay on topic, stay within a niche, and deliver extremely high quality content, then this is actually a really, really good thing for us. Because if you're a site that's casting a giant net, maybe like Huffington Post, what is it, like the about.com, or just things like that, even like Forbes, where they're trying to basically write an article for every single topic on earth. I think that they can be hit. Google is starting to see that they don't want to just be ranking Forbes because they have a DA of 90 or 95 for something that is not business or motivation related, but just because they wrote on the topic and they have such authority, they're ranking them. So I think that this is actually a good thing for small websites, for us to kind of get some traction back possibly. And if we have a really good knowledge graph of our website and we stay on topic and it's very niche specific. Here's a good example. If you have a pickleball website and you have 80 really high quality articles on just pickleball, and then you have Forbes magazine that decides they want to write about pickleball, what I'm seeing here in this update is that your small website that has a DA of 5 should be able to outrank Forbes because of your knowledge graph and because of the trust of your site, your expertise in pickleball, and so forth. So that's actually a good thing. I'll look at it as that is a good thing. So we're going to come down after reading your content. Will someone leave feeling they've learned something, right? Again, high quality content. It seems to be the theme. It's high quality, user-based, user-focused First, helpful content is really, it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm going to get into my thoughts on AI as well. So right here, will someone reading your content leave feeling like they've had a satisfying experience? Are you keeping? So when I read all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's nothing in here that says AI content's going to get dinged, or surfer SEO or phrase is going to get dinged. But what I do see is that so here's what it really comes down to. I'm going to answer the question right now. And if you want to stick with me for the rest of the video, I'm going to also go into some other stuff over here. But here we go as far as my opinion on the AI content in putting that into perspective of this helpful content update. Nowhere on here, if I do a control find and I go AI, there's nothing in here that mentions we are going to be looking at AI. Maybe that's another algorithm that they're going to build, or they already have built. That's fine. And artificial is not in there as well. So there's nothing in here that's specifically going after people that are using Jasper or Copy AI or AnyWord or any of the popular AI writers. If you can use an AI writer and I think the best way to use an AI writer is not just clicking a button, and then I do that in my videos, of course, but I'm just trying to show you the software and what kind of quality content the AI writer can produce. But in reality, if you really want to provide value to a user, and especially avoid getting dinged from this update, and you still want to use AI content, I think that you can still use AI content. As long as you are proofreading everything and you are, literally weeding through. The AI is supposed to be just to assist you, maybe finishing a sentence or two, giving you brainstorming and things like that. So I think that if you're using it to help you become a better writer, I think that you're going to be totally fine. I think that you're going to be okay. But I think that if you are doing these massive sites, authority sites and things like that, where you're just pumping out AI content, maybe you're doing auto blogging with an AI, with AI content, I think that it's going to know if you are just straight out pushing a button, AI generates it, and then you're throwing it on your site. It's going to know, because people aren't really going to read that article that much if you didn't spend time. I think that if you use AI and you're going to make an actual real high quality post, that it's going to take at least an hour to pull that off. And I've done that several times where I've used AI, but it still takes an hour of brainstorming, writing the content with AI, but then deleting when it doesn't crank out good content, and really structuring the content in a really good way that is useful to the reader, right? So at the end of the day, where do I stand? I don't think that they like AI content, but I don't think that they can do anything about it if your content is good. If you are using an AI writing tool and you can produce good quality content after you read through it, and if you can't really produce anything better than that, like if it's just as good as a writer that you hired or wrote it yourself, then it's going to be fine. The quality of the content is there. It's unique. It passes Copyscape, and it's well researched, well formatted. It ticks all the boxes. It's on point, and your site is it's within the niche topic of your website. I think you're going to be totally fine. So that's kind of where I stand. I think that this is really it's really kind of going after getting back to basics. The quality of the content. So again, where do I stand on the AI content? I don't think this is specifically going after AI content. Drop a comment below if you think that this is absolutely, there's no way you're going to be able to rank AI content. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I'm off of base. But I think that if they're going to be able to measure the metrics, they say it several times right here, that if people are leaving your site immediately, then they already know that your content is no good. And so if you used AI content to do that and you're getting a 95% bounce rate, then yeah, it's because of your AI content. It's because it's bad quality. But if you can use AI content and rank #1 and have a below 80% bounce rate, then you're meeting the needs of the end user, the reader, and it doesn't really matter where the content came from as long as it is unique and high quality. So I'll just leave with saying that I don't think that this is necessarily as bad as this sounds. The helpful content update seems like it would immediately throw out AI content. I don't think that it's as easy of saying that. I don't think you can just get rid of AI content. It serves a place, but like I said, I've always said it, that you always need to proofread and go over all your content, add your own words and your own thoughts within it. And AI content is, if you're going to use it the right way, it is actually to be used in assistance to help you with writing and not just do all the writing for you. So I don't think that this is an AI targeted update, because the more I read right here, it's more about those big giant websites that think that they can post on any topic in the world, is basically, and then like the primary focus, right down here, product reviews, core updates, and satisfying the user experience. So that doesn't scream AI content, like I said. Okay, so I hope that kind of answers your question. I don't think that this is a immediate AI content's bad now. I really just don't see it in here. We're going to come through real quick and just look at some more of the things. How do you avoid taking a search engine first approach? Answering yes to some or all of the questions is a warning sign that you should reevaluate. So is the content primarily to attract people from search engines rather than made for humans? Again, this would be if you're only using Surfer SEO and phrase and AI content and 100% just pop and blasting out content, and it's that's probably not going to work. This update is going to eventually filter through your entire site, and you'll get dinged. Now, I've always thought that they have metrics. They already know if the quality of the content is good or not, but this one's taking it to another level. The metrics and the amount of time that people are spending on your site, the click-through rate, all that stuff is going to matter, and it's probably part of this. This is taking it to another level. But they're going to be able to identify, if you do all those SEO things, right, and then you rank your content top 3, well, it's going to start getting evaluated pretty quickly as the users start going to your site. It's going to be able to compare it probably to the other 10 or 30 top ranking articles and see where it fits. And it's going to eventually lose its rankings because it doesn't have the quality of the content is not there, right? Are you producing lots of content on different topics in hopes that some of it might hit the search results? Again, this is a lot of people's strategies. Just pump out as much content as possible. Use AI content. This is it's going to. They're saying that they don't like that strategy. They don't like having a pickleball website, but then thinking that you can talk about soccer sometimes or basketball. Right? You need to stick within the topic of pickleball and so forth, right? So I think that this is hitting really big websites that have thousands of pages and that have really expanded their the topics that they talk about. I think that it really does hit those sites. Are you writing about things, are you mainly summarizing what others have to say? So that strategy of just grabbing all the H2s from the top ranking articles and then just rewriting that is maybe that's not going to be as helpful. You've got to find ways to make your content and add things that nobody else did. So that's what that's saying. Are you writing about things simply because they seem trending and not because you'd write about them otherwise for your existing audience? Again, quality and staying on topic. Does your content leave readers feeling like they need to? Does your content leave readers feeling like they need to search again to find? Again, they're saying the same thing kind of like 10 different times, 10 different ways. People come into your site and they're not getting what they want, so then they have to leave and then go and find other articles. That could look bad for your site. They're going to be measuring this on your site. Are you writing to a particular word count because you've heard that Google has a preferred word count? They say, no, we don't. And you know, in some respects, I have to agree with that, because I'm finding articles like yesterday or the day before I was researching it, and the top ranked article only had 500 words on it, but then the next like 3 or 4 had like 1900, 2500. So that actually is true to an extent. That, and it is very strange. I know we all tried to figure out how to, what's Google's algorithm, what are they thinking. In this case, it didn't make any sense either, because the 500 word post that was ranking number 1 for that keyword only had a DA of like 37, and the next 3 had over 90 DAs. They were like 87, 93. And so the domain authority in that particular case meant nothing. And so it had less domain authority, way less words, 4 times less words, and it was ranked number 1. So again, this might hold true. You really might not have to write, you know, maybe you don't have to write 4,000 word blog posts to rank. If you're answering the question in the most quality, well thought out formatted way, then, and you can do that in 1,200 words, then, you know, maybe that's one of the directions, and, you know, that'll save you a ton of time and save you, on your budget, for outsourcing as well. So did you decide to, enter some niche topic area without any real expertise, but instead mainly because you thought you'd get search traffic? So again, you know, these niche websites, if you've never played soccer before, but you're going to build a soccer website, they're kind of saying that they're going to discover that. If you can't really show that you're actually a soccer player and stuff, then why would they rank your content at the top? And does your content promise to answer a question that actually has no answer, such as suggesting there's a release date or a product? So they're hitting on people that come out with the reviews and all that stuff before the show has even come out. They've already watched the series and have done a full blown out review, and it hasn't even come out yet, right? So they're going to be hitting that on that as well. So there's more and more stuff. Real quick, so their systems, this algorithm will be probably just like all of them. It'll be an automatic update. So our systems automatically identify content that seems to have little value, low added value, or otherwise not particularly helpful to those doing searches. Where's the part where it says that it is an automated update? Right here, the classifier process is entirely automated. Using a machine learning model, it is not a manual action nor a spam action. Instead, it's just a new signal. So if they have 1,000 signals, this is one signal, guys, okay? So it may not destroy sites, but if it is going to be as big as Panda or Penguin 10 years ago, then this could wipe out small sites, and big giant sites could reduce their traffic. Some are saying between 10 to 40%. That it could wipe out traffic and stuff. So it is a bigger update than a lot of them. So there is reasons to be somewhat concerned. A natural question some will have is, how long will it take for a site to do better? So this is one of those things where it rolls out, and then if it puts your site kind of like in a category where you got a bad grade, you will kind of sit in the doghouse, if you will, until you fix your site and get rid of the low quality content. And then the next time it crawls your site, you may be able to get out of the doghouse. So it's this is like a live type update thing. It's not going to ruin your site forever. There's chances to come back from it, but it will, if you get dinged, you do kind of get like a status of unhelpful content kind of deemed on your site, right? And then the signal is also weighted. Sites with lots of unhelpful content may notice a stronger effect. In any case, for the best success, be sure you've removed unhelpful content. And so they're literally telling you to go to your site and remove content that's not helpful. That's crazy. And this update impacts English searches globally to begin with, and then they plan to launch out further languages in the future. So that's it, guys. Just a recap. You know, this is the helpful content update from Google, releasing at the end of August of 2022. This is, at the end of the day, a quality content algorithmic update. So they just want quality. If Google had their way, it would be highest quality expertise on topic and on niche and written by humans for humans. That is what they want for their sites. But like I said, as far as AI content is concerned, there's nowhere on here that says that we absolutely will, completely take down your site if we see that you've written any AI content. They didn't even mention AI content in here. I know that Google's probably handling AI content in another algorithm, and that might even be an algorithm update that they don't mention to the public. But I think, like I said, if you can use AI content writers to help you write amazing content that is very helpful, on point, and hits the user intent, all that kind of good stuff, then you're good. I don't think that they're not going to even be able to identify that you used AI content. Some of these AI content writers are so good that they will not be able to, the technology, that technology will always stay ahead of Google at some point anyways, the good ones. So Google's always going to be playing catch up to try to find how they can identify if it was AI content or not. And so my personal opinion is that I don't think it's going to necessarily hit, it's not going to hit that content because this is not identifying AI content. This algorithm is not identifying AI content. I think we have more things to worry about as far as, is your content high quality? If it's high quality, you have nothing to worry about. If it's not high quality, then we're all going to be hit by this update. So I hope that made sense. At the end of the day, I don't think that this is going to be, AI content is going to be hit if you use it the right way. If you are just turning out dozens of articles per day or per week using AI content and just pushing the button and taking it 100% from there and posting it, I think that this content will, or this update will hit you. So that's just my opinion completely. I'm not an expert in any way. That's just my opinion. You guys asked for me to put this video out, so I decided to look into it further and so forth. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to LearnWire, and I'll see you in the next video.